If you like the idea of extending your decorating efforts from fall all the way through Christmas, here's a fun twist using 4 dollar store flat wooden pumpkins. I'm removing any labels and glue from the pumpkins so they are left completely bare. Placing the pumpkins on something to elevate them, I'm selecting a paint color called Iron Clay by Fusion Mineral Paint to start. All 4 pumpkins are getting painted until they are well covered, including any raised detail and all the edges. 1 coat of paint is all I needed. Now I'm dry brushing the lighter shade over the pumpkin, leaving plenty of intentional brush strokes. To detail the pumpkin stems, I'm painting them in Chateau, which is a soft tan. To further detail the stems, I'm dipping a wider brush in Algonquin, then dragging the tone over top. Now that the pumpkins are dry, I'm flipping all of them good side down. I'm choosing several tones that chime in well with each other, called Iron Clay, Cobblestone, and Acacia Pear. The backs of the pumpkins are getting painted in each of these tones until desired coverage is met. To keep the edges clean, I'm ensuring there are no drips going over the sides. Now I'm selecting 4 Christmas-themed stencils to detail the ornaments. Any stencils will do, however these are from Funky Junk's Old Sign Stencils. Selecting my favorite dome tip stencil brushes, I'm loading a brush with paint, then offloading it onto a piece of wood until the brush feels dry so the paint doesn't bleed underneath the stencil. I'm now stenciling each image, coordinating the colors I choose, keeping in mind what I'm painting, such as the poinsettia images are getting a red tone, the Christmas trees are going green, and the snowflakes are white. Then I'm rotating in all the other tones for a cohesive look. I decided to add a black tone called cast iron to neutralize parts of the designs. Now that 1 ornament is done, I'm stenciling the other 3. A more subtle design called Twinkle Stars is being stenciled on 2 ornaments. This helps break up the busier patterns so they are more cohesive next to each other. Now I'm fixing any paint bleeds by painting over them with a small artist brush using the background tone. Once dry, it all blends perfectly. To decorate the Christmas trees, I'm painting red dots on them with the tip of an artist brush to create ornaments. I'm now placing them in the order I'd like them to be and adding pieces of masking tape so I can number them. With the pumpkin sides facing up, I'm arranging the first and third pumpkin flat on the table with the other 2 resting on top. I'm outlining the placement of the top pumpkins against their backgrounds, then hot gluing them into place. I'm now creating mini fall swags to decorate each pumpkin, cut from dollar store flowers, such as utilizing grass, flowers, burlap leaves, pine cones, and ribbon. With 1 swag, I'm hot gluing Scrabble letters spelling out the word fall onto a clothespin, then clipping a pine cone and some grass inside. To attach the swags to the pumpkins, I'm using Velcro so it's easy to remove them. The Velcro is getting cut to size, then is being stuck to the backs. Now I'm flipping the pumpkin side facing down to work on the ornaments. Many swags themed around Christmas are being glued together, then attached with Velcro just like the fall swags. Some floral wire is being cut and shaped into large Christmas hooks. The ornament hangers are being painted, then detailed in a slightly darker tone to create ridges. Now I'm attaching the Christmas swags to the ornaments, taking care to hide the bottom of the pumpkin shapes so the ornaments appear round. For a final detail, the Christmas hooks are getting threaded through the ornament hangers to complete the look. And you are left with an adorable, completely reversible fall and Christmas sign, so you can leave this beauty up for several months at a time. The pretty rust tone pumpkins are toned down perfectly to blend in with neutral surroundings without being too blatantly orange. However, with Christmas not far behind, simply remove the fall swags, turn the sign around, and you have a happy explosion of all things Christmas. The Christmas ornaments blend so well together, with the swags hiding the pumpkin details perfectly. And the stencils offer such an easy and instant way to detail the ornaments with very professional results. This super fun reversible sign will be in season for a few months each year without creating anything extra.
I headed down to my local lumber yard to get some cedar fence pickets. Took these and had to cut off the dog ears on them. I need a flat top and bottom for all of those. That was easy to do. Next, on this first project, I took all the cedar boards I had and put 6 of them straight across from each other. These are 6 foot long. I lined up the bottoms and the top, and I took another scrap piece of cedar fence and I put it at the bottom, and I used brad nails to secure it in place. Once I got the bottom secured, I cut a little bit wider board and put it at the top, again using brad nails to put it in place. As you can see, it's a little crooked, but that's the effect we're going with. Once that's on, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to match another board the same width and height as the top one and mirror it and put it in place. On another project, I took some boards, put them together, and I curved the top and in the middle, and then I used my jigsaw to come in place. You can use any kind of saw you want, but a jigsaw is always the best. Once I get that curved on there, I took a little bit of sandpaper and got the rough edges. Then I turned to some primer. I use a gray primer because it's easy to paint and use. I want to make sure I get this primer on because it allows the paint to stick. Next, on these two projects, I use paint, put it on, I put 2 coats, and I got it all on there and let it dry. The next project, I wanted to use stain. I wanted to see if there was going to be a difference on it. Now, again, like I said, cedar is rough and tough, so I want to make sure I use a towel and get it all in there. While all that paint is drying, I took some dowels to go ahead and start cutting out a bunch of pieces for some 3D effect. Again, I also used some other scrap wood and started cutting out some pieces. Once I got all of these cut out, it was time to get them painted. I laid them out, and on these 2 pieces, I'm going to give them an orange paint. Again, using spray paint, it's super easy, and it gives a great coverage. The next one is going to be white. I only had 2 little pieces for that, and I got them all covered, making them look really good. Then I had a bunch of those dowels that I cut, and all the other pieces, I painted those black. What I wanted to do is, while those pieces were drying, I went over and I had to paint a face on one of the projects. This is the big, tall 6-foot one, and I just started using some black paint and started putting in the eyes, eyebrows, and everything like that. I also wanted to put a little mouth on there and a little chin just to give it a cool effect, and this paint only took 1 coat and made it look good. Now, back to the original smaller 2.5-foot project. These are the cutouts that were painted black. I'm going to start putting those on for eyes. 1 little nail to hold it in place while the glue dries. That glue is going to be super strong and it will hold it down, so I'm not filling it with a bunch of nails. And then I'm going to put a little happy face on there. And watch this. Once I get these done, these 2 projects, I got a cool ghost. Now the other one's smiling, but the big one, he knows the assignment. He knows he's there to be spooky. But watch this. This is the 6-foot tall one. I bet you recognize this character. See that slatted board right there? It looks great, but wait, watch this. Once you turn it around, you've got the Grinch. This is a dual-purpose cedar decor. One side is Halloween, the other side is Christmas. It looks great. Now this one is my favorite. This one's only 4 foot tall, but I love it. It's great for autumn and Thanksgiving, and it's a cool looking scarecrow. I added some flowers from Dollar Tree, and those 3D effects are really cool. But once you turn it around, it's also ready for Christmas. With a cool little bow, carrot for a nose, it looks great. All these projects are awesome. Again, dual purpose except for the ghosts. You can turn them around, use them anytime. That way they're not sitting around in storage all throughout the year, but you can use them anytime. I hope this inspired you to build your own cedar fence picket yard decor for Halloween, autumn, and Christmas. Thank you for watching Home Talk, and we'll catch you next time.